Welcome back to day 21 of online learning. Just a quick reminder that the Unit 6 math test is due by this Friday. The deadline was extended to this Friday, April 24th. So please make sure you've done all the previous math lessons about fractions before you take it. So we're going over Unit 7, Lesson 1.3, and we're going to be continuing this unit, focusing on the operations of addition and subtraction. And today we're going to be focusing specifically with subtraction within multiples of 100. So if we were to count by hundreds or by 100, what do you think the 10th person to count would say? If we were to skip count by 100, what would the 10th person say? Pause me now and think about that. So what do you think the number will be that the 10th person would say when we're skip counting by 100? And why do you think that that would be the number? Explain to a parent or a sibling or a cousin. Explain what do you think the number would be and why? So if we were counting by 100, the 10th person that would be in line would say 1,000. And you could have thought that maybe it would be 1,000 because that there's 10 hundreds and 1,000. Or you could have thought that saying 110 times is another way to think of it, would be 1,000. So if we count by 100 and everyone says one number, what do you think the last person would say? Let's say we have 20 people. What would the last person say? So we said if the 10th person went, they would say 1,000. If we had 20 people, what would the last person say if we were skip counting by 100? So if we had 10 people, the 10th person would say 1,000. I then asked you if we had 20 people to make a prediction about what would the 20th person say? And I want you to think about your reasoning for the number that you got. You could have said that the number would have been 2,000, which is right. And you could have thought of this in different ways. Maybe you could have thought that since 10 doubled, or 10 times 2 is 20, that 1,000 times 2 would be 2,000. Or you could have thought that 20 times 100, since you're saying 120 times, has 1, 2, 3 zeros, just like 2,000 has 1, 2, 3 zeros. So you could have thought about this in a lot of different ways. What we're going to do now is we're going to put our predictions to the test and we're going to skip count by 100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 100 and then I want you to pause and think about what's the next number that's going to come up. So I'm going to give a couple of seconds between each number for you to be thinking about what the next number would be. So if the first person said 100, now I want you to say out loud what the next 100 would be if I was skip counting by 100. And it'd be 200. What would the next number be? It'd be then 300. The next number would be 400. What would the next number be? 500. And then it would be 600. Pause me now and think about what do you notice about my numbers as I'm skip counting by 100? I notice that the only thing that's changing right now is my hundreds place. And it's just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's increasing by 1 when I'm skip counting by 100. But my tens and ones place are staying exactly the same. So if my last number was 600, I'm just focusing on my hundreds place, and I know it's going to go up 1. So 700, Then what would come next? 800, and then it would be 900. Pause me now and think about what comes next after 900. The next number would be 1,000. And what I notice right here is that it almost looks like it says 1000, which is true. Because let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1,000 is 10 hundreds. But we say it as in 1,000. What would come next? Next would be 1,100. My next number would be 1,200. And think about a different way that I can say 1,200. Just like I can say 1,000 is 10 hundreds. What can I say for 1,200? I could say 1,200 because that's true. There are 12 hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hundreds. But we say 1,200 because we're focusing on our thousands place and our hundreds place. So what I did here is I just moved this up, that way we're not running out of room. But our last number was 1,200. Pause me and think about what would come next. Next would be 1,300. What comes after 1,300? 1,400. I want you to say out loud the next number that comes up. And you could have said this number was 1,500, which is true. How many hundreds do we have on our board? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 hundreds. But we can also say 1,500. And what comes next? 1,600, 1,700. What would come next? 1,800. Next would be 1,900. And now pause me and think about what comes after 1,900. Just like when 900 had to go to 1,000, we had to regroup our hundreds place and put one more in our thousands place. So if I need to regroup at my hundreds place, it's going to be one more in my thousands place. So my next number would be 2,000. And again, I notice that my hundreds are just going up by 1 every time I skip count by 100. But my tens and my ones are staying the same. It goes 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 1,600, 1,700. So the only thing that was changing until I got all the way to 1,900 was my hundreds place. And then I had to give more in my thousands place. Pause me and figure out how many hundreds are in the number 2,000. There are 20 hundreds in the number 2,000. That would be the 20th person would say 2,000 or 20 hundreds, what would my next number be? What would the 21st person say? They would say 2,100. When we've done count around the class before, we've written multiplication sentences. What is a multiplication sentence that can represent the way that we counted by 100 to get to 2,100? So what we did, we counted 21 times by 100. This would be if we were skip counting in class, the 21st person would have said 2,100, and we were counting by 100. So my multiplication sentence would be 21 times 100 equals 2,100. And a way to think of that would be, if I made 21 circles and put 100 in each, my answer would be 2,100. So here I have a box of paper clips. And in this box of paper clips, there are 100 paper clips. So each box has 100 paper clips. When you're doing your have to today, when we're thinking about one box of paper clips, we know that means that there's 100 paper clips in that box. One thing that you're going to have to help you with your have to is a 100 grid. And you can think about this 100 grid. So this is one 100 grid. So we're just focusing on this 100 grid right here. So if we have 100 grid, that means that inside each box shows one paper clip. So when you're using your 100 grids, think of one whole grid as one box of 100 paper clips, and then each cube as one paper clip. So I want you to think about if I had 2 boxes of paper clips. Pause me and think about how many paper clips I would have. If I had 2 boxes of paper clips, that would mean that I would have 200 paper clips, because there are 100 in each, and I have 2 boxes. So 100 plus 100 is 200. Let's say I had 4 boxes of paper clips. If I had 4 boxes of paper clips, a way that I could think of this is having one 100 box, another 100 box of paper clips, another box of 100 paper clips, and another box of 100 paper clips. So that would mean that I have 100, 200, 300, 400 paper clips. Or I can write 4 times 100 equals 400, because I have made 4 groups with 100 in each. For your have to today, you're going to be working on problems that are involving boxes of paper clips. What I want you to remember is if you're using the 100 grid, that each grid is 100, and then each cube on the inside is equal to 1 paper clip. But what I want us to do is we're going to go over number 1 on our have to, and I'm going to show you exactly how I expect you to solve this. So it says Mrs. Lopez had 3 boxes of paper clips. How many paper clips did she have? She gave 20 clips to another teacher. How many clips does she have left? So it says that Mrs. Lopez had 3 boxes of paper clips. We're now wondering, how many does she have? Then it says she gave 20 clips to another teacher. So she gave away 20 paper clips. Then it asks, how many clips does she have left? So we need to figure out how many left. And what I notice is that this is a 2-step word problem. Is we first need to figure out how many does she have, and then how many does she have left after she gave some away. So this is 2 steps that we need to solve for. So first I need to figure out how many does she have. So if Mrs. Lopez had 3 boxes and there's 100 in each, I can make an equation to show 3 times 100, because if she had 1, 2, 3 boxes, there would be 100 in each, which is 100, 200, 300 clips. So that means that Mrs. Lopez had 300 clips, and then she gave away 20, which is our second part of the word problem. And we need to figure out how many she has left. So I want to use a number line to show that if she had 300 paper clips and she gave away 20, how many would she have left? So I'm going to make a number line, but first write an equation to show 300, and then how many does she give away? 20. So what I just did is that I realized that the green was kind of hard to read, so I rewrote 300 minus 20, and now I need to make my number line. And since it's subtraction, I know that I'm going to start on this side of my number line. And I'm going to start with 300. And then I need to take away 20. I'm first going to take away 10. So now I'm going to count down. I'm not counting up, but since I'm taking away 10, 300, and then I would know it's 299, 298, 297, 296, 295, 294, 293, 292, 291, 290. And another thing that I could do is I can use my 100 grid, and I could have just taken away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and known that I still have 90 left. And then I need to take away another 10. So 1 whole row, and I would know that I would have 100, 200, and then 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280 left. So 300 minus 20 would be 280. And the question is, how many clips does she have left? And I need to make sure that I have my unit. What am I talking about? So that means that she has 280 clips or paper clips left. So what I did is I wrote down my rules. I showed my work for both questions of my problem and used a number line to show my work how I'm subtracting or how I was taking away. It's also important that I wrote down my answer and circled it. For your have to today, to be working on pages 394, 395, and 396. For every problem, you need to be showing your work and taking notes about the problem. You need to be using a number line or using the 100 grid that's all the way at the bottom of the worksheet. Use this 100 grid to help you show your work and to complete the problems. Here's your have to for today. You're going to first complete the pages 394 to 396, and that's the paperclip problems. Please remember that there's the 100 grid all the way at the bottom of the assignment, which will help you show your work. And then you need to do 15 minutes on IXL. Remember that it's only the highlighted skills that you should be working on. To get a 3, you need to solve all the problems on pages 394 to 396, and you need to show your work for every problem. And you also need to do 15 minutes of IXL on your highlighted skills only.